Talk about LeBron James.
All right, don't talk about me now.
Tell me things, Jamie. Is there a new sneaker?
He does have a new sneaker out.
Wow. Do they have one every season?
Yeah, he's got two different pairs. He also has his own imprint label on Nike, which is
that's a baller. Man.
He sponsors Ohio State.
That's like if Conor McGregor starts co-promoting with the UFC, like it takes it to the next level, right?
Did you hear anything about Conor yesterday? I don't know if it's rumors or not.
What?
He got into a fight in a pub or something. And I just saw like random shit about it. I don't know if it was even accurate or not.
Yeah, that's the problem with keeping it real.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to keep it real and hang with the people, eventually someone's going to test you. Mm-hmm. Someone like you were when you were 20. You know, maybe.
For sure.
I don't know if Conor was into that. I assume he wasn't because he's a winner. But, man, that absolutely can happen if you want to be out there. Again, hashtag keep it real.
Ball, too.
Yeah, hashtag balling. I mean, he's walking around with expensive watches, these beautiful David August suits on. He wears these tailored suits everywhere. He has these super expensive shoes and watches.
How many other Lambos are driving around Ireland, too? Lots.
That's a good point.
You know,
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, he's balling out of control. I wonder what it'd take him. I mean, now that he had that big crazy fight at the fight, when he jumped over the fence and pushed the referee, Mark Goddard, I wonder what it would take to get him back in the cage now. Like, I wonder if there's going to be fines and suspensions. I wonder what the fuck is going to happen. It's quite fascinating. But I'll tell you one thing. He makes things fun. He does. He makes things fun with Oscar De La Hoya's hitting the heavy bag on. He should say that he'll fight Oscar De La Hoya, but only if Oscar agrees to wear a skirt. You got to wear a skirt, and you got to wear fishnet stockings, and I'll fucking fight you.
I think there's anything still, too. I heard Roy Jones is still trying to fight Silva. Which I don't know. Is there any? Not that it's going to happen.
I hope Anderson does not take that bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roy Jones is. I mean, you see what happened when Floyd fought Conor, and Conor's in his prime. You know, and I'm not saying that Roy Jones is in his prime, but he's still very active. He still fights. Roy works out all the time, and he knocked out some amateur boxer, MMA fighter last year. He had some fight. Remember that? Like, there was like a contest to see who gets to fight him.
Yeah.
He KO'd that guy with one punch.
Did Anderson get suspended for his?
Yeah, Anderson's going to be suspended for quite a while.
Really?
Yeah. Once, if he indeed is guilty, let me just preface that. If he indeed is guilty, and they don't have any reason to believe he's not.
What's your what do you think is the move for Conor McGregor? Should he fight Manny Pacquiao or Tony?
Bathtub made of gold and fill it with diamonds and just walk off until I get tired of doing it every day.
I'm crapping me jokes.
I'd be fucking drinking. I'd be drinking straight Irish whiskey.
Notorious Irish whiskey.
I'd drink a fucking gun barrel full of Viagra. A huge gun barrel.
A gun barrel.
I'd make my way to the pub and just start shooting rounds off.
That's not a bad Irish. It's not a good. It's not a good Conor McGregor accent, but it's a good Lucky Charms accent.
I would hire the most beautiful, huge volleyball player women to just carry me everywhere. Yeah, just get giant, super athlete women to just carry you everywhere.
Do you think he fights Tony Ferguson, or does he fight?
That's the move.
Manny Pacquiao.
It used to be not the move, but I think Tony Ferguson. Like, I think Eddie Bravo had a real good point about it when he and me and Brendan talked about it. I think Tony Ferguson is the right move as far as for the fans. I think
over Manny.
Yeah, I don't think that's smart. I think if he wants to do a boxing match, the real smart move would be fight an MMA fight and then fight a boxing match in a year. But I think that the Khabib Nurmagomedov fight, you really got to see Khabib fight somebody else first. And the Nate Diaz fight, although it could be huge, Nate's not really fighting anybody right now. What I would like right now, this is my thought. I think if Nate comes back and fights someone and wins, Conor fights someone and wins, Conor has a boxing match, they have a huge MMA fight after that. Yeah. Fucking huge! God damn it! I mean, 3 million pay-per-view buys, huge, gigantic.
Well, yeah, but he's got to get through Tony Ferguson
McGregor.
first.
Yes, that's the fight he's got to get through.
Yeah,
but
that's a big fight.
He might not even have to get through that if he can lose, but lose in a respectable manner. Like, lose a very close 5-round decision where it's like a nail biter, where at the end of the round, and no! And then Tony Ferguson drops the ground and Conor's like, fuck! And then there's like controversy.
Yeah.
I thought Conor won. And then the pundits will debate it online. If he can lose a fight like that, yes. But if Tony lights him up, cracks him, Darce chokes him, puts him out in the first round, and then spits on his dick, yeah.
Yikes.
Then the Nate Diaz fight isn't worth a lot. But
yeah,
if he can do that, he's so loved by Ireland that he could almost do anything.
Yeah.
You know, like Daniel Cormier said this to me. We were at a fight. It was in between while we were doing the stand-up thing. Where, like, you know, they set you up with the microphones and you give your analysis about the upcoming main event, that kind of shit. And we're looking at each other, and he goes, he doesn't lose anything when he loses. He goes, that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
He goes, he loses a fight, and the support is exactly where it is, if not more.
That's right.
He's like, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I think they applaud his courage. He's just so brave. Like, he just puts it on the line,
There's
dude.
definitely that. There's
He
definitely
backs
that.
up what he says, which is
definitely
fucking
that.
crazy. The fact that he came back and beat Nate, because I said to Brennan after I saw him lose the first time, I go, Nate's just too big for him.
Yeah.
It's just too big. Came back, beat him.
Yes.
And then knocks out in the first round. Knocks out Eddie Alvarez.
Second round.
Second round.
They
Sorry.
lit him up in
Sorry.
the first round. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, I was
He's-
like, what the fuck,
I think it was
man?
the second round, wasn't it? I want to say second round. I want to say he made it to the. I want to say they were coaching.
It's
him
just
in between
fascinating,
rounds.
man. It's like to see him kind of back it up. That's what they applaud. Just his courage and his spirit.
It's also he's a great shit talker.
Yes.
That's a big part
Yes.
of it. He's
Yes.
fun to listen to. Who the fuck
Look
is
at the way he
that guy?
dresses. Look at the way he dresses too, dude.
Second round. Yeah.
Khabib needs to fight at 170. There, I said. it.
Well, you say that, but he's got a new nutritionist, and Cormier was telling me that he's having way less problems with his weight now.
He's
And that in-
205.
No, he's not anymore.
Okay.
No, that he's in the 170s now.
Really?
Yeah. That he's like way lighter now than he's ever been anytime close to a fight, and that he'll have way less problem making weight for this fight. They've got him on a very strict nutrition
Really?
schedule now. Yes.
Because he's fighting. You know,
I'm just saying what his teammate,
Yeah.
my coworker, Daniel
Yeah.
Cormier, tells me.
His training
assuming
partner
he's
is
telling me
Luke
the truth.
Rockhold. Luke
Yeah.
walks around at 215. You know, I've listened.
Yeah,
guys,
but him
listen,
being so
I've
big
sparred
doesn't
both
make,
of them.
it doesn't make Nurmagomedov bigger. You understand how that works, right?
You're right. No, but never. Like he looks. Like, Luke posted a picture of him training with Khabib, and I was like, "Who's the giant?" And it was
He's a
Khabib.
stud. Like, he's one of the most impressive grapplers I've ever seen in MMA.
Yeah.
Its ability to take guys who are very good, you know, like Rafael dos Anjos, and just sort of ragdoll them. Like,
Wow, his wrestling is.
Yeah, it is.
fucking-
It is. It's stunning.
It's a different kind of wrestling.
Because I think Dos Anjos is better now than he was during that fight, but it doesn't matter. It's like the way he did it to him. It's like, man, if there's levels where it's hard to tell with MMA because striking's involved. When striking's involved, you don't get to see the pure grappling level. But what I was seeing when I was seeing just pure grappling, I was seeing strength, endurance, technique. There was just like 30%, like they're stacked up on Nurmagomedov's
if he
side.
gets a hold of you,
Yeah.
you're not getting him off.
That Michael
Nobody
Johnson
ever
fight?
nobody gets him off. Look at the size of Khabib right there.
Yeah, but
Now
he's,
that might be the camera angle, but
it could be, but he's he's in front, but he's he's not cutting weight right there, or if he is, he's halfway into the game.
yeah,
He's a monster, man.
he
He's a
does.
monster.
I think he does really well at 72. That's all I'm saying.
He posted something on his Instagram. This is to show you why this motherfucker's so hard and why all those people from Dagestan are so hard. He posted something on his Instagram of one of his friends who'd been tortured.
No,
Posted photos of his friend who had his stomach cut open. Yeah, he posted on his Instagram. This guy. There's two photos. There's this photo and then there's the next one. And this guy had his stomach cut open. They were torturing him about something. And there's a translation. You can like translate all of it, but it has something with him saying that someone was wrongly accused. They were trying to get him to confess. But the point is, this is a UFC #1 contender, or at least #2
Yeah.
in the lightweight division, one of the most talent-stacked divisions in the world. And he's posting stuff on his page about how hard his environment is.
That's
to the
where he
point
comes
where
from.
people are being tortured. Yeah, when he gets in there, his mind. I mean, you're fighting, literally fighting.
Yes.
Like he calls himself the eagle. He's like a fucking eagle.
Yes.
I mean, he's fucking ferocious when he gets in there, and he's at a level of grappling. Like, man, he's been doing it his whole life.
crazy.
And at an intense, super primal level. So intense, real technical, super knowledgeable about wrestling and jiu-jitsu and submissions.
I think Daniel said that it took like
Ridiculously strong.
they basically tussled for
Yeah.
15 minutes. Daniel,
Yeah.
the Olympian.
Yeah, he said he was hand fighting with him. It's like, whoa, shit. It's like, he's a beast. Nurmagomedov is a beast. And when you see him get a guy like Michael Johnson down the ground and just own him, he owned him. And he was saying, look, I'm sorry I got to do this to you, man, but you got to tap. Like, I need my title shot.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he's beating the fuck out of him, man. He was just holding him down and pounding on him.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me to watch because one thing I'm impressed with Michael Johnson's complete unwillingness to tap. Just like beat me up, keep beating me up. He just
True
was
warrior.
fighting through it, and then eventually got Kimura'd. But it was just ruthless, man.
Yeah.
It was ruthless. And the control that he had on him, just his arm tied up and just beating the shit out of him. I was like, wow. Like this guy's, there's certain positions where you see a guy is so much better at a guy that he's not than a guy that the guy who's holding down is just not going to get up. Just not going to get up. It's a matter of time before he gets beaten into unconsciousness.
That's right.
But
I
for
feel that
now,
way
he's
with
not getting
Jacare
up.
is the same way. When Jacare gets on top of you or gets you down, you know, unless you're Yoel Romero, we'll see you later.
Yeah, see how he's got his right arm tied up? He just clamps down on his wrist, and his right arm became a one-armed defensive guy.
It's just a guy who's been fighting his whole, like wrestling his whole life.
So fucking
and it's details.
strong.
It's fucking details, though. It's where his hips are. It's all the minutia, the micro movements.
It is.
That and he weighs. He probably feels like he weighs 300 pounds.
I'm sure.
Like those wrestlers like that. Like, you know, when you tussle with a guy who's been doing it his whole life, he can tap you if you're a regular guy by putting his weight on you. After a while, you'll just tap with his
Speaking
shoulder.
of which, Ben Askren is going to be on the podcast.
Oh, boy.
I'm working it out with Ben Askren. Going to get him out here finally. I've been a Ben Askren ball rider
He's a killer.
for several years. Not technically a dick rider,
Ball rider.
more of a ball rider.
Because the dick is so deep in you.
It's just
And
scary.
now you're riding his
Scary.
balls.
It's over there. I hold on to the balls. I look up at the dick. Like,
How much does he weigh? What is he?
well, he fights at 170.
Okay, so he's 170. I thought he was 50 or
He
something.
cut some weight for sure, but I don't think he cuts a lot of weight. I mean, he's not one of the bigger guys in the division. He's just super technical with his wrestling.
Who is his? Where did he learn?
Well, he's a fucking serious world-class amateur wrestler. I mean, he knows. Yeah, before.
Oh, I thought he was just jiu-jitsu.
No, Ben Askren. Pull up Ben Askren's record. You can see his collegiate wrestling record. He was a fucking monster.
How about that
man.
hair?
Powerful Missouri.